What in Time to Voices, what does that even mean? It didn't make sense to me.
It doesn't actually mean anything.
All right.
It was just the song, yeah, I don't know, but when we wrote that song, I started writing the lyrics really, really fast, and that just line came out. And I don't even know what it means, but I think in a subconscious way, it probably is referencing the fact that this album is quite vocal-based, quite melody was like our big thing on this record. We're really obsessed with it. So I think the reference to voices is probably something to do with the fact we were just obsessed with singing for about a year.
Yeah,
so,
we get pretty carried away.
But yeah, it doesn't actually have like a real meaning. We just thought the song came out like that, and then we thought that phrase just some reason fits the record, and we didn't really know why. It just was a feeling that
it's just right.
And we wanted to name the song and then a different name because we thought, okay, let's keep that for the record, but we couldn't work it. We couldn't find anything better
for the actual song.
Keep it.
Do you have to think long about such a thing?
Sometimes it's totally different. Sometimes lyrics just fall out of the air, and you're like, there's some mystical god that just handed them to you. And other times it takes fucking ages, and you know there's something wrong, but you don't know how to put it right, and it could take like 6 months to fix little bits. And
still, you know, still there's things that I'm like.
Yeah, there's still little things that I wish I could have come up with something better. But by the time we came to record it, it was like, that's the best I can make. Yeah. These 3 lines of work, you know, like.
Yeah, there were certain songs that really were fast, like The Silence and the Drones. The lyrics for that, for me, they just came out. Literally just came out of me, and I don't even know how.
Yeah, and the same with In Time to Voices. You wrote all of those words like really fucking fast.
Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes
they just happened.
And what was the hardest?
Hardest?
I think for me, Lost Kids was the hardest lyrics that I wrote, because usually I don't do this, but the bits of the lyrics that I wrote on that song, I had a really conscious idea of what I wanted to write, and I don't usually do things very consciously, like neither of us do. Most of the time we operate purely on instinct, and we just totally trust in our instincts. And that song, I think I was just trying to be a bit fucking clever with it, instead of just relying on instinct. And that made it harder, because instead of just feeling my way through, everything had to fit right into this like scheme I had in my head. And that was a lot more difficult for me, and it took longer to get it right than the songs that you just write, you know, out of your gut, I guess. It was more out of my head than out of my gut. And but then that's only the bits that I wrote on it. I didn't write all the words to it. We wrote other bits together. And then I write them, and then Laura goes through it and goes, that bit's shit, that bit's shit, that bit's shit, and change that anyway. So
you have to start all over.
And then you got to fix it. But that's how we work.
Is there how much of a life is there outside of Blood Red Shoes?
There isn't.
There's like a week around Christmas and New Year's where we have time off and see some other people apart from each other.
Because you said 300 somewhat days together. Is that really correct?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm not just saying that to sound like, I don't know, would that sound cool? I don't think that does sound cool. No. No, well, yeah, I wasn't just saying that for effect. That's true. I mean, we spend all the time that we're not on tour, we're doing things like days like today, or we spend a hell of a lot of time writing songs and jamming in our studio. And then we also, if we're not fighting, then we spend like days off. We socialise with each other and hang out as well.
But at the moment, we haven't. It's not like, I don't know. I feel like we haven't socialised for ages. Yeah. Voices has so much to do.
Yeah, we've had like the gaps recently where in between like flying to somewhere like where we spent the day together.
Our days off are like washing. Well, for me anyway, it's like I wash my clothes and I go out and buy shampoo that I've run out of. It's pretty boring.
Yeah, it's pretty like.
Normal, you get a little, basic.
Yeah, you get like a little window of time to do like normal human being shit that you get.
Maybe cook dinner.
The rest of the time, it's just the band. But you know, that is our own fault. That's not like, we're not like the victim. We made it that way. We made a decision early on in our band that we were going like all or nothing. And I think actually that's something that makes us quite different to a lot of bands I see at the moment. I think there's a lot of bands who are a bit half and half and not quite sure if they want to go all the way. And we very firmly decided early on we want to go for this and it be our whole life. So.
But we
That's how
also
it's ended
are
up.
control freaks, and we also don't have loads of people doing stuff for us like other bands. So, like, pretty much everything comes from us, from the fucking banners on the website to, like, you know.
Well, the album artwork, you did all the album artwork.
Yeah,
That took quite a while to set up because that was
Yeah.
like a whole photo shoot and a set design and
Yeah.
props and everything.
You know, there's things that, you know, most bands don't even have to think about. So, yeah, there's always something we have to do. And that is part
Yeah,
of
and
our
we're pretty bad at trusting other people to
Yeah.
do it right. So we just tend to do as much as we can ourselves. It's a difficult habit to break, that.